Okay, let's jump right into this explainer, but I want to start by confronting a deeply, genuinely uncomfortable truth. Right now, literally as you sit there watching this, something profound is happening inside you. Every single second that ticks by, your cells are actively decaying. You, me, all of us, we're inevitably marching toward the end. But what if everything we thought we knew about that process is just entirely wrong? Every second you watch this, you are slightly older. Just let that sink in for a moment. It's a heavy, visceral feeling, isn't it? I mean, we've all been taught that this is the one totally inescapable fact of human existence, the ultimate one-way street. But hold on to that feeling of inevitability because what we're looking at today completely shatters it. Science is actually standing on the absolute brink of stopping that biological clock dead in its tracks. Take the number 45. Sounds totally ordinary, right? But this number represents a frankly awe-inspiring medical reality. This morning, a 48-year-old man woke up, got out of bed, and just started his day. But biologically, he woke up having already lived through the equivalent of a 45-year-old body. Thanks to a wild combination of emerging tech, he hasn't just paused his aging. His biology has actually traveled backward in time. So let's look at Section 1, the clock inside you and turning back biological time. To really grasp this, we need to completely redefine aging. We have got to stop thinking of it as simple wear and tear, like an old car rusting out in the rain. Instead, think of it like this. Inside every single cell in your body, there's a specific set of biological instructions. It's basically a software program. And scientists, well, they figured out that those instructions can actually be reset, not just slowed down or paused, reset. It is absolutely awe-inspiring to realize there's a literal clock inside your body, and we're finally figuring out how to wind it backward. Now, if you're sitting there thinking this is just some wild science fiction or a fringe theory, listen to this number. $3 billion. That is the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the funding poured into a company called Altos Labs when it launched back in 2022. And look, this is an amateur hour. This is backed by some of the deepest pockets on the planet, including Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Their entire singular mission is to reverse aging at the cellular level. They are betting billions that this biological reset is not only possible, but imminent. And this field is moving at an absolutely blistering speed. In 2024, they published a massive landmark study showing measurable, significant lifespan extension in mice through targeted cellular reprogramming. Then, by 2026, we're looking at human organs being kept alive outside the body, having their aging reversed in real time. And early 2026, the US FDA actually approved the first partial de-aging human clinical trial run by a Harvard genetics professor's startup. Real human patients, happening right now. We've literally crossed the threshold from sci-fi into clinical reality, and it's crazy because almost no one is paying attention. Which brings us to Section 2, the inequality shock and AI biological optimization. $2 million. I just kind of want to leave a heavy silence on that figure for a second. $2 million. That is the exact amount of money Bryan Johnson, that 48-year-old man we talked about earlier, spent last year alone, simply trying not to die. $2 million in 12 months purely to reverse his biological age. So how do you even spend that much money on your biology? Well, let's break it down because his protocol is brutal. Step 1, he ingests over 100 pills every single day. Step 2, he has a dedicated team of 30 doctors constantly monitoring every organ in his body. And step 3, the real powerhouse here, an artificial intelligence system he calls Blueprint that is continuously optimizing his DNA, his gut microbiome, his blood chemistry, and even his sleep cycles. Because of this extreme AI-driven protocol, measurements taken in 2026 show he appears to have reversed roughly 13 years of cellular aging, bringing his biological cellular age closer to that of a healthy 35-year-old. And Bryan Johnson is absolutely not alone in this pursuit. He actually launched a program called Immortals, offering his exact AI protocol to others. The cost? A cool $1 million a year, with only 3 spots available. And get this, within 30 hours, over 1,500 of the global elite had applied. Meanwhile, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman separately invested $180 million into a company dedicated to rejuvenating T-cells. The wealthiest, most powerful people on Earth aren't just, casually interested in living longer. They're betting massive fortunes on cheating death entirely. And honestly, this is the extreme inequality shock we are walking right into. On the left side of the equation, we have multi-million-dollar AI blood optimization, fleets of doctors, and dedicated immortality protocols. And on the right, We have a vast global population where millions of average citizens struggle to afford basic routine medicine. We are looking at a near future where the ultra-wealthy can literally purchase biological youth while everyone else remains trapped in the natural cycle of decay. Which leads us to Section 3, escape velocity, and the 2039 prediction. Let's unpack the relentless logic of what Bryan Johnson calls escape velocity. It's not about waking up tomorrow completely immortal. It's more like a treadmill. First, you use current technology to extend your human lifespan, just incrementally. You buy yourself an extra 10 or 20 years. Second, during those extra years, science advances enough to solve the next biological failure before it kills you. And third, eventually you reach a tipping point where medical tech is moving faster than your body's natural breakdown. You are literally running faster than death can catch you. And Johnson publicly predicts the first humans will reach this exact state of escape velocity in exactly 13 years, by the year 2039. I know it sounds like absolute madness, but listen to this quote. Aging is a very solvable problem. That was Elon Musk speaking at Davos in 2026. Figures like Musk or Peter Thiel, who backs technologies targeting the senescent cells that cause organs to fail, they don't view death as some spiritual inevitability. To them, the human body is just hardware, and death is merely a technical bug just waiting for a software patch. And they are looking everywhere for that patch. Scientists are actively studying the biology of immortal jellyfish, the only known biologically immortal animal on Earth. They're analyzing the enzymes of lobsters, which show almost no measurable aging. And they aren't just observing them, they are actively trying to steal the biological source code from these immortal animals and port it directly into our own human cells. It's wild. This brings us to our final part, Section 4, the moral horror and a divided future. Here's the harsh truth we have to face. We're not just building a cure for death. We are actively building the world's most extreme form of inequality. When this technology fully arrives, and the timeline strongly suggests it is arriving incredibly soon, it is not going to be distributed equally. It is arriving first for the billionaires, the multimillionaires, the absolute apex of the global elite. The rest of humanity, just going about their daily lives, will simply have to watch as a select few detach themselves from the human condition entirely. Which leaves us with one final deeply profound question. The science is undeniably real. The human trials are happening right now. The billionaires have already paid their entry fees. The question is no longer whether biological immortality is possible. The only question left is, who decides who gets to live forever? I want you to really think about what this means for our shared, highly unequal future. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. If this massive shift in human history fascinates and terrifies you as much as it does me, please share this explainer with everyone you know, because this is a conversation we all absolutely need to be having right now.